Welcome back to the show. As always, I'll be your driver, Spencer. Sitting shotgun is Breck, and this week we're the podcast asking the important questions like, did Twilight always lie to us? Do sometimes daddy issues lead to growth? And, I don't know, are we stronger together? This is Be Afraid of the Dark.
And I think we are stronger together.
We are stronger together. All right. We had two really cool episodes.
We had a ball.
The third and second to the last of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here and we are ready to go. So
we are inching ever closer to
Should we just hop right in?
Let's do it.
All right. Season 1, episode 20, Dead Man's Blood, written by Catherine Humphreys and John Shaban, I don't know how to pronounce it, but directed by Tony Warmby, I think is how you say his name.
Cool.
This is a cool episode. It is a vampire episode.
Our very first vampire episode, which I honestly thought we weren't going to get for a little bit.
And it's hysterical how much they're like, we're not doing vampires very often.
Yeah, they're like, do not ask me.
Well, I think that is a cool place to start before we get into like the specifics of the episode. They're very much like vampires are basically extinct, and Sam and Dean didn't even think they were real.
Yeah, like John tells them, he's like, I thought they were extinct.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one for them to go so hard as like, I thought they were gone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, it's interesting because it lends itself to a little bit of humor of like Dean seeing weird shit every day and then something like, vampires aren't real.
That is true, and I wonder if that's the whole of it. Like, I don't have any commentary on that necessarily. It's just an interesting decision, kind of a weird decision to have like vampires be the one, because werewolves are very common in this world. They've mentioned them.
Sam's already mentioned them back when they were in Chicago. And, you know, it's interesting also because I think this is probably around the time that vampires are becoming like hip and trendy.
Yeah.
Again, because this show comes out the same year that the first Twilight book comes out, which is a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah. And however much overlap they ended up having on one another, this does a very different route with its
very
vampires.
Very different. Because also vampires are kind of a common metaphor or allegory or whatever you want to call it for like an upper class that feeds off poor people.
Yes.
Like that is very commonly what they're used for, and that is really not the vibe of the
they're still leather clad.
Still leather clad, but
they're very much bikers.
Yeah, like which is a really
would you say bohemian?
Fun, yeah, they're very like whatever, man. Like what did I call them? Like they're
bohemian.
Bohemian. No, there was an exact word I used. Like
oh well, it doesn't matter.
I wrote a note. Hedonists. There I go. They're hedonists. Like they're very much just like.
Is bohemian bad? Should I not be saying?
No, bohemian's not bad. That's like a very much a term of like, that like, that's a term that we use. Don't worry about it.
Well, okay, so. This episode begins with Mr. Elkins.
Mm-hmm.
What a name, by the way.
Sam Elkins.
Sam Elkins?
I thought they called him Sam, didn't they?
I don't know. That's the main character's name.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Tell us in the comments, whatever. So Mr. Elkins, he himself has a crazy person journal. I long to have this is the closest I've gotten to a crazy person journal, but I just want a real crazy person journal.
It's such a crazy person journal that the guy at the bar next to him goes, I thought they caught the Unabomber.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he's very, very old man, sitting there having his drink and writing his little notes.
The bartender has a soft spot for him.
Yeah, it's right about here that I go, the cult, right? I remembered a good bit of this one, but I remembered the cult thing. I remember the gun in the case. I remember the bullets like half filled.
And baby, we're here. She's with us.
Yeah, we finally got her. Anyway, I love a winter setting. They don't do much with that outside of the cabin, but I do love a winter setting in horror. It's very fun. Good to me.
I said it was a very misery cabin.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Very misery cabin.
It snowed in Colorado.
Anyway, so he gets there. And he's fled the bar because a group of, we don't know what they are yet, but
just seem like
they're vampires.
Asshole bikers.
They walk in and he's immediately like, this is not good. Gets back to his cabin, is like rushing in, locking doors, looking for stuff, and he turns around and the woman vampire is there. And he just quickly knife throws straight into her.
And she's like, come on.
Great throw for a geezer.
So awesome.
What an old timer. First time we've had an old timer chuck a knife into a woman's chest.
Really great. And she has a fun line of like, you look old.
Yeah, and there's also this implied history that these vampires know this man, and we don't know why yet. We also don't, at this point, know they're vampires, I guess. But anyway, that happens. He runs, locks himself in this room, pulls out this old box opens it and takes apart this like vintage Colt from like the 1800s.
So cool.
Like where you literally have to pop the barrel off and take the drum out and load it and then reattach. It's crazy. So he does that and they catch him. A bunch of people crash in from the ceiling and they grab him and knock it out of his hand. And she picks it up and there's like, you can tell something's going on. Doesn't matter. She doesn't know what it is. And they kill him. They eat him. And then that's the end of our cold open. We get to Sam and Dean.
Great cold open.
Great cold. I mean, legitimately a great cold open. I really like this
kind of one of our most, I almost said plot and lore heavy.
Yes.
Cold opens.
Definitely the most lore heavy outside of like the pilot.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So that's really good. Anyway, we get to the Sam and Dean. They're kind of trying to decide where to go. They can't find a case.
Dean's joking about driving back up to New York and dropping Sam off with Sarah. And like
yes, which is very sweet. It's fun that I wonder if the writers were like, we're going to use her more, and then it just never worked out.
I'm sure.
Maybe she comes back and I'm just not remembering it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That happens. They come across a name of a man who died in his cabin with all the doors and windows locked, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is crazy because they get there and it's like the glass on the ceiling's working. Anyway, a man, and Dean recognizes the name, Elkins. He thumbs through his dad's journal, finds it with the Colorado area code. They're on their way. They get to that cabin. They're not wasting any time. Inside the cabin, they start looking around and we realize somebody's outside watching them. Who is it? We will find out. They don't find much, but I do love the investigative side of this. It's kind of similar to Shadow when Dean figures out the like tape thing.
I love that Dean calls him a player. I love that that's like their term for another.
I took a note of that too. I thought that was cool.
And that his journal that they find, Elkins' journal, and it dates back to the 60s. So he's been doing this a long time, longer than John. And also I have a note that it says Dean doing Nancy Drew detective work.
Okay, yeah. See, and I love looking for clues, right? So that's funny because he literally puts a piece of paper down and like draws on it and then flips it.
Fun.
What do they? Oh, it's a PO box. They find the PO box number. So they do that.
And it's a mail drop, just the way Dad does it.
Yeah,
which is a fun.
They get there. They get in the box. They pull out a letter that says JW. They're like John Winchester, and then tick, tick, tick.
Ding, ding.
John has followed them, and he is there in town.
Knocks on the window, which I wrote down literal John jump scare because he literally scared me because I forgot he was in this episode.
It's one of the few times he ever like actually cracks a smile too, because he kind of chuckles as he gets in the back of the Impala.
Because it's funny.
It's because it's funny.
They get their pranking from their father.
They really do.
If only we could have had a John Winchester who wasn't John Winchester and could have been their fun prankster dad.
Yeah, okay.
This episode's, by the way, if you love John Winchester, I'm so sorry. I'm about to be the biggest hater of all time for the next 2 episodes. But
it's rough. Anyway, so we move on. He reads this letter saying he's if John is reading this, he's gone. And then John kind of trails off and he gives this line that I love. This is a great tool when you want to build mystery and suspense, have one character know something and verbalize it, but not the whole thing. So he just goes, that son of a bitch, he had it the whole time. Whoa. And you're like, okay, what? And you can kind of infer it's the gun. Why does that gun matter that much? Very cool. Vampires being almost extinct. We kind of talked about that a little bit. That's a cool idea, though. The idea that they're almost extinct. Because that's the fun part about a lot of the monsters in this world is you could feasibly beat them.
Yes.
If you hunted them enough and you had enough people doing that. That's why this guy Elkins dating back to the 60s, him and his crew or whatever, the people he knew of his era, really hunted vampires, so they're basically extinct.
They're very, very small, and the remaining vampires have like named beef with them, which is a really fun concept as well. And also I love here that we get kind of this backstory on like, we had some when they went home to Lawrence of like Mississippi Mosley like showed me the truth. Yeah. And like all that kind of stuff. But I really love that John is like, no, Elkins taught me like everything I know about hunting.
Yeah. So he had a quote unquote spiritual leader, or at least a spiritual guide. And then he had and obviously this guy, Pastor Jim, there's a network of these hunters out there, which for so long in the season, you didn't really know.
It's so fun.
This episode and the next episode really dive into that.
Absolutely.
In a more literal way.
And I love that we find out too that, Elkins and John had a falling out, and that's why we didn't ever hear about him and John and Sam. Dean and Sam like have never heard about him, which I think is really fun too. Like, again, we talk a lot about John being a ghost, and I like that there's a lot about John that Sam and Dean still learn over the next couple episodes.
Yeah. Well, there's a funny thing about John. We'll get there, but anyway, the vampires snatch a dude. They do like a fake car thing to stop him, and they snatch these two kids, and we get our first look at the vampire fangs, which are like retractable from their gums, and there's not just like fangs, it's like a bunch of them. It's serrated
They're
teeth.
like shark teeth, I think John describes them as, which is true because they look like two rows of like these serrated.
It's super cool. I really like
fun.
it. It's much more monstrous than these vampires are not necessarily like sexy vampires. Now they're hot, you know what I mean? Like there's a confidence and a swagger about them, but it's
100%, but
it's not like this. It's not like Bela Lugosi in this like gender fluid kind of amorphous attraction and
it's
horror.
Very much like it's not, how am I going to put this? They're for the monster fuckers. They're not for the casual ones. You know?
That's true. Anyway, Sam and Dean, John rushes in and is like, we got the trail. We got to go. Or they're describing the rules of vampires or something like that.
John's kind of explaining that the typical rules, like the crucifix doesn't matter, sunlight doesn't matter. Like as much as I think they do. There's no stake to the heart business. It's just beheading, and that's the only thing that works on them. Yeah.
So they kind of learn a little bit of that. A lot of the lore is crap, which I think is also very cool and very supernatural.
Fun detail.
And then Dean goes vampires. Gets funnier every time I hear it. They really did not think they were going to use vampires very much. It's pretty funny.
It's really funny.
So anyway, they get the trail and they start driving after him, and Sam is already questioning things.
Yes.
They find out about this crime. They get there, and John goes up to talk to the cops alone, and Sam is very upset about this.
Yes, and Dean goes, don't tell me it's already starting. And Sam's like, what's starting? Like, it's so older brother, younger brother of like, please don't tell me you're about to. What? I'm not even doing anything. What am I doing? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Like,
John comes over and kind of gives another vague, like, we got the trail. And Sam's like, how? And he's like, because we do. And he's just being very alpha male and evasive in details that, like, I understand his reasoning, like the cult, not explaining what that is, but also the other side of it. Not that I'm saying he's right about not telling them about the cult, but I understand the, like, his thinking as a father and as a hunter.
He's thinking, like, I mean, we'll see in the next episode why he's holding out on it. But
anyway, so they settle this beef temporarily. John's walking away and he picks at Dean. He's like, why don't you put a new coat on the Impala? I wouldn't have given you the damn thing if I thought you'd ruin it.
And you're like,
I'll kill you, John.
I'll kill you, white devil.
And like, Dean didn't do anything. Dean's just trying to keep the peace.
Dean's trying to keep the peace, and he's like, you better watch out so it doesn't rust. And you're like, okay, do you take care of things, John? Because your children are screwed.
I know. Well, anyway, we move on from that, and we're with the vampires in their like abandoned barn lair. The two teenagers are tied up.
That they call it a nest specifically, which is another fun thing. I love that the vampires are in covens and they hunt in packs, and then they bring the victims back to their nest, which does kind of remind me of the Wendigo. A little bit of like, I love a monster that's like, and I'm going to bring my dinner back to the house.
Yeah, he's got a store of people there to last. They do,
super
that like
creepy.
8 of them or whatever have a store of them. Those 2 kids, they eat the guy that they kidnapped, and they turn her.
Yes.
But before they turn her, we find out that Luther, the main vampire who's older than the rest of them, he's the one who had beef with Elkins, and he's very upset that they killed Elkins because he's like, there are other hunters out there. They will come for us.
Like, they will figure it out.
He's upset, and then she kind of reveals, she's like, well, he died with this in his hands, and gives him the Colt.
Yeah, and he knows what it is.
He knows what it is, but all he says is, this is no ordinary gun, which is very cool. Again, cryptic. We're building up so much of like, what is this thing?
It's so much fun. I love that also Luther like aura farms when he walks into the thing. It's like the doors like blast open, and there's like fog outside, and it's like illuminated by the moon. It's awesome.
It's crazy.
And another fun detail from that scene too is when one of the vampires is like taunting the couple as they're tied up.
Yeah.
He's trying to feed them both like beer.
Yeah.
And they're both kind of refusing, and he's like goading them, and he's like, if you drink enough, I can taste it in your blood, which is a really fun, interesting, like, that's a fun detail that I don't think they talk about in a lot of like vampire like media, is like, if they can taste the blood, what does it taste like, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
It begs the question, can you eat enough garlic to make them unhappy?
Probably. Well, garlic doesn't do anything.
It doesn't work in
vampires.
this, but it's a fun thought.
Yeah, so, okay, now we get to, they're driving, and John says he knows where to go, and Dean wants to know, or Sam wants to know how, and Dean's like, I don't know, and so Sam guns the Impala, pulls off to the side of the road, pulls his dad off to the side of the road, and they gets out and they just lay into each other.
It's so, ugh.
Yeah, like, the specifics of what they say are lost on me because I'm just sitting there like, I'm gonna cry, this poor family. And there's Dean literally in the middle trying to shove them apart from one another.
I described it today to one of my coworkers as the meme of the little cartoon wolf, like clutching his head as you see the shadows of his parents like arguing in front of him. it's just really like that's what stuck out to me more this time than in the past. Like in the past, I've always been like, and Sam is correct as usual.
Yeah.
But this time it was really because again, we had that episode Shadow where we find out that all Dean has ever wanted is for everyone to be together and be happy and be a family. And even when they're back together, it took like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
For them to be irritated with each other again.
It's exactly like what Sam said. It'll never be like it was.
Yeah. And the line that Sam gets off here that I think is really a gut punch is, "This is why I left in the first place."
Yeah.
Which you're like, ugh.
Yeah. This is why I left in the first place. Like John is like, "You abandoned us. We needed your help," and he's like, "You closed that door, not me." Anyway, it's a
Which
very
is like, of course, like because of course,
everything is boiled over the edge now.
Yes, and I don't think that Sam is necessarily at fault. I think Sam maybe could have, but I don't think any parent should ever tell a child, regardless of age, well, the phone works 2 ways. Like, bro, you're the parent.
Yeah, well, and John didn't say that. Dean said that in an earlier episode.
Yes.
John didn't say that.
Yes. So
John's just like, you're on the wrong.
And you're like, I'll kill you.
It's dark. Anyway, so then I say they turn to this other girl that they kidnapped. They do that in this scene.
Yes.
In this follow-up scene, which the only reason I'm bringing this up, it's kind of unimportant other than the fact that they turn this person that Sam and Dean are trying to save.
And we find out how they turn people.
Yeah, and they have to bite their lip and smear blood in their mouth.
I said not them baby birding her vamp blood.
Yeah, it's so true. The thing is, the reason I want to bring this up is Luther is having sex with his mate with the Colt on his hip in a leather-bound holster. Funniest shit ever.
You're like, what's with you people?
Yeah,
and making her watch them.
Yeah.
And then they notice her watching them. They're like, you like to watch, huh? And you're like, it's more that you're having sex in front of her direct eyelight. It's
hilarious. They turn her. We get the next morning, Sam and Dean and John are watching as this other vampire gets back in his rusty muscle car.
Mm-hmm.
Luther opens the door in direct sunlight.
Squinting.
They explain that all it is it hurts like a sunburn. That's all that it really does to them.
But, they still sleep during the day, but
But they will wake up.
Yeah.
So they go back in. John's like, we have to behead them. So they get back to their respective cars. Dean opens up his trunk, opens up his thing, props up the little wooden panel with a shotgun, and then John clicks a button and his weapons go and open up in this high tech. Each thing is in its foam case. Hysterical.
Again, just really emblematic of who the two men are at their core.
Yeah, it's it made me laugh a lot. But anyway, they pull their machetes and Dean, in a very kid way, offers hey, Dad, I have an extra machete if you need it.
And John's like, I think I'll be okay.
And he has a sword. It's crazy.
It's literally Michonne level of I can behead this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then we also find out that vampires get sent for life. As soon as they have them, they have you for life. So they go through and they're sneaking in.
First John explains to them about the cult first. No? I thought he does.
Oh, it is. You're right.
So John explains to them what the cult is first, and I had to write it. I wrote it down because I was like, there's so much. This is a scene that gets burned into my brain because later they use this clip of Samuel Colt made a gun every 1,000 times it comes up in the little recap before the episode, so it's just burned into my brain.
I miss recaps.
I miss the recap that would kind of mildly spoil the episode for you. So 1835, which means Luther is as old as the cult, and that would be early 1800s. So Luther is well over 100 years old, almost 200. And it was made during Halley's Comet, when Halley's Comet went overhead, which is a fun mystical element I forgot about. And then Samuel Colt made, as in the Colt gun, which again, if you guys don't know that Sam is named after Samuel Colt, the Winchesters are named after the Winchester rifle.
Yeah.
You should have been known. But he made specifically a gun for a hunter with 13 bullets that can kill anything.
It should also be noted that made it on the night of the Alamo massacre.
Yes.
Literally it's the most lore-based planets align for this weapon to be made.
So
it's
crazy.
So unique in all of history. And again, only 13 bullets were made. But the thing I like is he describes it as a hunter on horseback.
Yes.
Right? So there's something about that seems so folktale and legendy.
So cool. Can you imagine just a cowboy being
yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm super into that. Anyway, so yeah, we find out about this thing. Now we know the stakes of getting this weapon because it can kill the demon. It can kill anything.
Yes.
Literally anything, even things that are unkillable. I think we find out later that there's a couple exceptions to that. But for now, what?
I don't even remember that. So
I remember it vividly.
We
find out there's just a few exceptions to that, but for now, this is the weapon that could kill anything, as far as we know, including whatever. You know what I mean? So it could have killed the Striga just cold. Like, it wouldn't need to have its weakness happen. It would have killed the Wendigo cold. Just it'll kill anything. Very cool idea for a weapon to drop into this world. Okay, now they go in and they sneak through the thing. Sam and Dean are trying to save people, so they find all these people in the cage. They find this woman. She's unconscious. They're all laying in hammocks, which is so funny to you.
I know. I think it's hysterical that like they're like immortal beings and they could be like rich people with houses, and they're like, we just like our little warehouse with our hammocks.
Yeah.
And like Luther's like the boss more or less, and he seems to be the only one who has a room with his mate, who I forget her name. But
side character doesn't matter.
You know.
Things go awry when Dean tries to unlock, or Sam tries to unlock the woman that they're trying to save, and she starts like roaring at them.
It's like this really creepy noise.
Yeah, and John is like almost has his hand on the Colt hanging from the bedpost of Luther. They all wake up. John gets flung across the room. Sam and Dean book it out of there. John, very on the fly, picks up a bottle, throws it at the window. Light comes in. It hurts them. They get away. Sam and Dean are outside. John runs up shortly after. They're like, where are they? Why aren't they coming? He's like, they'll wait for nightfall. So he's like, what do we do? And he essentially is like, you need to get to the nearest morgue.
Yeah. And you're like,
so Dean goes on a side quest, and Sam and John are left alone for the first time.
Yeah.
So Sam is very amped. He's very anxious. He's like, I need to go help Dean. And John's like, he's got it. And they have what I think is a very touching conversation. Essentially, it's John not necessarily apologizing, but it's him explaining that this wasn't what he wanted, you know, for his kids. It's he envisioned a different future. He tells this really touching story about how when Sam was born, he put $100 in a checking or in a savings account, and every month he would do the same for both Sam and Dean. It was a college fund.
Yeah.
To Sam, he's like, I never knew you ever wanted me to go to college because
like,
it's not the life he lived. It's really sad. They kind of touched, and Sam says what I've been thinking and what we've talked about a little bit throughout this season is essentially like him and John are the same.
Yes.
They're the two who can relate to each other more than almost anybody on planet Earth
100%.
Because of what they've gone through.
Because of the extreme loss of a significant other in such a violent and terrible way.
Yeah, and Sam finds a dark humor in that, and then he asks, and he's like, whatever happened to that
college
fund? And the line that John just says, he said, spent it on ammo.
Oh my God, kill you.
And there's, well, I mean, like, Sam laughs at that. It's a bonding moment. I think there's actually something really touching about him admitting that.
Again, I think like you're right. I think this is John apologizing as much as I think he is willing or able to.
I'm not saying that line's an apology. I'm saying there's something bonding between them.
Yes, and I have a line earlier in the conversation that I liked where John admits, I stopped being your father and became your drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what he's saying. I think there's something very touching about John admitting these things. Anyway,
I can understand that.
It's a very, very beautiful and sad scene. And then Dean comes back and he makes a joke about he's like a lot of protection. And so
for a bunch of dead guys.
Yeah, it's like heavy security for a bunch of dead guys. That's the line he says.
Very funny.
Hysterical, but he's got the dead man's blood. And we find out that dead man's blood is like a kind of a poison. It won't kill them, but it will knock them unconscious, make them incredibly weak and sick.
Yeah.
So they
really fun, gross, like cool, like a little bit of like, what's the word? Weaponry, I guess.
Yeah, it's a great idea for a weapon.
Yeah.
They lure Luther's mate and another vampire out.
The chunkiest French tip of all time, by the way. About this chunky. It's awesome.
And they shoot a crossbow that has been laced with dead man's blood, and she passes out, and he's like falling over, and then they decapitate him.
Yes.
And we get a good blood splatter on a rock. Our first decapitation of the show.
Yes. Great beheading blood splatter.
Which is very exciting. John gets that decapitation, which is super cool.
And also, where the hell has that crossbow been?
I know.
Where have they been hiding that? Where is it, Dean?
Crossbow.
Like, come on. Daryl Dixon wanders in. He's like, you stole my thing, man.
Yeah. I've been out there looking for that little girl every day. Yeah, sometimes you get hit with the Daryl Dixon arm.
Can you imagine in the heyday, because Walking Dead started season 5 or 6 of this?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we got a crossover in that heyday?
Sam and Dean would go boots to chest on the zombie apocalypse. It wouldn't even be funny.
So awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so they have her tied up, and they've burned this like, I can't remember what they say.
He says saffron, skunks, cabbage, and pterylium blocks their scent.
Yeah, so they burn it, and then they dust the ashes on their clothes. It'll block the scent for a time. They do that, and John essentially says, all right, the next part you got to do alone, and I got to do this part alone, and then I need you out of the area as fast as possible. We don't know what their missions are. They start fighting each other, and Dean actually fights back.
Yes.
Dean is like, that's a bunch of bullshit or crap. He doesn't say bullshit.
Dad, all due respect, that's a load of crap.
Yeah. So first time Dean has ever questioned an order, really.
Period.
So we're done. We're not doing this. Go. John feels remorseful, and you can tell this is hard for him.
Yeah.
He ends with like, I need you out of the area, essentially. Yeah. And Sam and Dean are like, whatever. So they go on their separate ways.
We also find out that in this scene that the vampires mate for life. So them taking Luther's mate is like a huge
so
deal.
He's really going to come after them.
Which I think is fun.
He says he cares about her more than the cult, right? Yeah. Which ends up being true to an extent, but whatever. They split up. John takes her. She wakes up. He stops in the road. There's all the vampires there. We get this really good shot where he like turns a bend, and we get like the flare on their eyes.
Oh, it's so cool. The eye shine light. Oh my god.
Yeah,
TV
like
lighting used to matter. In this country.
A bunch of them. It's really cool.
Also, earlier in that same argument scene, they get off one of my favorite lines of the episode, which is, "We're stronger as a family, Dad. We just are."
Yeah.
Which, again, the thesis of any episode with John and the boys is just that, a lot they all argue with each other and they get irritated and whatnot, but they still, they're always going to kick more ass as a team.
Truly, yeah. And I should also point out, I think we go with Sam and Dean first.
Yes.
And they are breaking in to take care of whatever vampires are there and save all those people.
Yes.
And I will say it now, this is the only kill that will count towards our kill counter, and Dean actually decapitates a vampire. There's no other on-screen kill, so we don't know.
Yes.
Dean takes the kill,
and
so it's now...
he also gets off just the funny part where he goes, boo.
Yeah.
Like deadpans it. I love it.
So Dean decapitates the vampire. He gets killed. It is now Sam 4, Dean 11. Mm-hmm. There's no chance of Sam catching up.
Sorry, bud.
Anyway, then we get to that stuff with John and the vampire standing there. He pulls her out of the car and holds a knife to her neck and is essentially like, she's got dead man's blood. I want the cult and you can have her back. And he's like, you can't shoot us all. He's like, I'm not using it on you. I'm saving it for somebody else. He sits the cult down. He backs up. John is like, okay, this is working. As soon as he gets that Colt in his hand, they're not going to rush him because he could kill them with it.
Yeah.
The dead man's blood wears off, and she hits him and flings him back. And then Luther takes him out. And I want to point this out now. This is more funny than anything. The first time we see the legendary John Winchester in action, he gets his ass kicked a bunch.
Pretty awesome. You have to love it.
It is quite funny. Things are not looking good. He's unconscious, and oh no, all is lost. And then crossbow bolt hits a vampire. Sam and Dean rush in and immediately get their shit rocked. Sam gets knocked down by Luther instantly. It's a great tackle. He picks him up. Dean grabs a machete. Everyone's kind of backed off or sick with the blood. They're facing off, and Luther's going to kill Sam. And we get just such a fucking banging moment of John essentially getting his attention, holding the Colt, clicking it, and we get the great shot of the like a little bit of bullet time.
I love the effects of this shot.
Hits Luther in the head, and you can just see it's like this blue mark, and it's like disintegrating his skull.
His brain is like melting. It's disgusting.
Yes, his brain, it's melting, and he falls to his knees, and like wind starts blowing. It's such a cool idea for this weapon to be that powerful, where it's literally like transcending magic.
It's so cool.
And like his shadow is getting like ripped away, and it gets pulled off and zips away, and he falls over, and he's dead.
Fascinating.
It is so freaking awesome, dude.
I love the shot. I love that too when John holds up the gun, then the camera focuses on the gun and he goes blurry in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know. They do that sometimes with Sam and Dean, and I don't know why I love that so much, but it itches my brain, right?
Yeah.
Again, every way they shoot the Colt, all the effects for the Colt, it's the sickest weapon ever.
Yeah. Okay, so we get that, get back to the motel. John essentially yields and says they'll do this, and Dean snips at him one more time, which is really good. I really like that's important.
Yes, I have the note, Dean is 26 and scared to sass John because he'll sass John and then immediately be like,
yeah,
like, you can do it, baby.
But they essentially give another variation of the line, we're stronger together, and then the getting shit done rock music kicks in, episode ends.
So awesome.
This one rules. This is such a good episode. I really like seeing the three of them together. They all have great chemistry.
It's a sexy family.
It is a sexy family.
They are having a face card off constantly.
Anything we missed on this one?
No, just that I
really
love
good.
this
The
episode.
Colt.
I had honestly completely forgotten about a lot of this, so it was really fun to kind of revisit this one with more of a fresh
I'm just
brain.
excited we got the cult. I love the cult.
It's
I think
the coolest
everything
weapon.
about that thing is awesome. Everything about specialty weapons and supernatural rules.
Oh, yeah. And we felt the ghost of that since John, mentioned I'm closing in on something.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is your favorite line of the episode?
Somewhere along the line, I stopped being your father and started being your drill sergeant.
See, that's so funny. Mine is spent it on ammo.
Oh.
There's something so succinct about spent it on ammo, and
he
something
doesn't even say I spent it on ammo. Just spent it on ammo.
It's something emotionally surprising about that line to me. Okay, best kill. There's a couple, but we're nominating the same one.
It's Luther.
It's Luther getting shot in the head with the Colt.
It's Luther's brain melting around the hole in the skull where the Colt bullet enters.
One of the coolest kills of the season thus far.
And it's
rules.
like you said, like the shadow getting it. It's just awesome.
All right. Ready to move on?
And then official kill counter is Sam Ford.
Oh, I said that.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that. But thank you for reiterating. We
You're
need to make sure that people know. I will have. I'm not. You just did that, and I'm leaving it in. I already put the board up when I said it the first time. So
just imagine it's there.
Yeah. Just.
Did you?
In your mind's eye, use your psychic
abilities. In your
abilities.
mind's eye, you hear my little breaking news announcement noise right
Also
there.
important to note before we jump into this next one, they've still never mentioned that Sam is psychic to John, and we'll get into it. But season 1, episode 21, Salvation, written by Sarah Gamble and Rael Tucker. Plot episode, directed by Robert Singer. Plot episode.
And we were really shocked, and I'm sure you guys were shocked, to start this episode and hear Carry On Wayward Son.
Guys, I'm going to have to cut that for rights reasons.
Oh, man.
Anyway, you really did hit it, though. You didn't hear that, but props to you. You hit that. That was great.
Thank you, honey.
So we get our first, which, by the way, I've seen Kansas live. I've seen them play that song. I have a video on my phone of them playing Carry On My Wayward Son. For him. It was huge. By the way, they rule in concert. It's awesome.
Because my literal note for this is Carry On Wayward Son, bitch.
Yeah, we should get the Road So Far tattoos. I'm so serious. I want a Road So Far tattoo. If this podcast is successful, a Patreon goal. We have 2 Patreon goals. If one will get the demon block,
trap,
the devil's trap blocker,
the possession blocker, whatever.
Possession blocker, and then another one is we'll get the Road So Far. Anyway,
it makes me nostalgic to think about because this is anyways, if you remember the musical episode from season 10, just that song that they named The Road So Far.
Great 10. Anyway, so Carry On My Wayward Son, synonymous with this show.
Yes.
Love it so much. We get a great clip show of the whole season. I miss these also.
Miss them bad.
Dude, I felt, and the reason we're surprised is the penultimate episode, but that doesn't matter. And this is technically a part 1, part 2, but they aired it where you had to wait a week, so you guys have to wait a week till we do an episode.
I mean, this is just how we're going to do it.
Deal with it, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
They're in Blue Earth, Minnesota, which I wrote down specifically because I just thought it was a fun name.
Yeah. We are with a pastor in his church. He's doing pastor things in his church, and the doors open. Meg walks in.
Hey, girl.
Which is not good. We don't know who this guy is yet, but we can assume it is Pastor Jim, which it is. Meg walks in. He's talking to her about, sin and whatever.
He has a great line of salvation was created for sinners, which I think is
that's beautiful.
Kind of a bar.
That's a beautiful bar. They're talking, and we get she's essentially leading on about all the things she's done, and gets darker and darker, and then her eyes go black with the reveal that she is a demon. Which is we've spoiled that, I'm sure, on here, but she's a demon.
I mean, you knew that when she died and was alive. So yeah, Pastor Jim runs. He's locking his doors. He's putting bars on, and he's surprised too that hallowed ground doesn't work on her, and she says, "Please, that might work on the minor league, but not on me."
Which is a great detail, which I love. That certain ranks and powers of demons, it has no effect.
It hints at a greater hierarchy of demons and power, which is something we'll definitely get into a lot later.
So Pastor Jim gets into his armory. Priest with an Armory is going to be my metal album name.
100%. So, can you imagine them finding him after this and being like, "What the hell? Why did Pastor Jim have all this down here?"
Yeah. Which is a good thing Hunters found him.
Exactly.
So Meg busts in. He throws a knife and she catches it and she goes, "You throw like a girl," which is
hilarious.
Very early 2000s.
So early 2000s.
And then she slits his throat.
Yes.
She kind of asks about John. No, she doesn't ask about Johnny.
She goes, where the Winchesters? And he goes, even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you. And there's a really great shot too when she's descending the stairs down where she's like silhouetted and there's like fog. Again, the fog machine.
Yeah, there's another great.
They're getting their money's worth of the fog machine on this episode specifically. Let me tell you.
There's another great Meg shot coming up soon.
Oh yeah, she's just cool.
Yeah, so slits Pastor Jim's throat. He dies. She leaves. We
R.I.P.
We get to our next little bit. Really good cold open. I really like it. Mm-hmm. The Winchesters are all there in John's crazy wall.
I wrote down John's Pepe Sylvia ass room.
Yeah. He's explaining that there are signs leading up to the events that happened with Sam.
Yes.
You know, cattle dying, weather anomalies, all kinds of things like that. And the 6 months. It is exactly on their 6th month birthday. The mother gets pinned to the ceiling, lit on fire, and the baby, whatever, all that happens.
Yes.
They don't know why. They don't exactly know what's up. And so
they have this really beautiful argument here where Sam is clearly internalizing this, and he's like, I forget why he gets very upset about it and is taking it very much like this is his fault again. Yeah. And Dean gets off kind of one of my favorite lines ever is, it's not your problem, it's our problem.
Yeah.
Which is really so...
So and Sam's really keyed up about this. He's very like, let's go. They find a place where it's going to happen. They know where the demon is going to be next. They drive off, and as they're going, John pulls off to the side. They follow him. He gets out. He's like heartbroken.
He's verklempt.
And it's because he just found out Pastor Jim has died. And Pastor Jim is one of his best friends.
Yeah.
So that's really sad. You see these human, he just gives this line, he's like, this ends tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care whatever it costs.
Yeah,
or whatever.
You find out that there is someone other than the boys that John cares about.
Yeah. So he gets back in his car, they go, or they decide they have to split up when they get there to find find the babies, because there's going to be certain places they have to check.
Yes, they have to like check all these birth certificates and everything. I think there's also a fun detail that they dropped that they found traces of sulfur around Pastor Jim when he was dead.
Yes.
Which I love the confirmation that demons have sulfur in this.
Yeah.
Did we get any of that?
They do that.
Never mind, then that's my bad.
Yeah, they do that in the flight one. Yep. Phantom Traveler.
Good work,
that's
everybody.
So we get that we get to John getting to his location to search, and he opens his middle console and he just has a pile of fake IDs.
Yeah, I wrote down a change pocket for IDs. It's literally like when you throw change in that one spot in your car, but it's just IDs.
Yeah, it's hysterical. He grabs one, he goes in, Dean goes in, Sam goes in. They all go through this. Dean can't help himself with the ladies. She's, how can I help you? And he's like,
Or she goes, can I help you with anything? And he goes, God, yes, but I'm on the clock.
Yeah, so funny. Sam starts going through stuff and he starts having a vision. He starts seeing a woman. He sees the events that happened to Mary, the same thing. Goes on his way.
And he keeps hearing, he keeps noting, or we as the viewer note that there's a very persistent like train horn noise
there's a train. He sees a few things. So then he starts running through the city following the train tracks. He has a map. He's following it. He finds the woman walking her baby in a stroller.
Yes. He sees the house and goes, I recognize those fugly curtains.
So he runs over and starts talking to her, confirming that this is she's 6 months old today, and that she's a bit off. Like she never cries. It's almost like she can read minds. And he's like, okay, this is not good. He tells her to take care, which is,
he plays a very sweet like neighbor guy that just,
he's like, I moved in down the, again, the number of people who just inherently are like, oh, fine, I'll chit chat with you. But it's also because they're two very charismatic and sweet people.
He's a very disarmingly sweet boy.
Yeah.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
Yeah. Okay. So then he gets another bit of vision where he watches in full what happens to the mom. And she, like, as she gets pinned, her stomach starts bleeding.
Getting pulled up the ceiling, which is so disgusting,
which is so sad and scary.
Like it's the thought of like she gets pinned to the wall first and then slowly dragged up and up. It makes my skin crawl. Well, there's something off-putting about the woman dying. Well, yeah, but there's just something really extra terrifying in that to me.
Yeah. Well, okay, then we get we get them telling John for the first time, and he gets mad at Dean. He's like, Dean, next time this happens to your brother, you pick up the phone and you call me. And he's like, call you?
Call you?
Yeah, and Dean really fights back on this one. He's like, I tried. Sam called you when I was dying. I called you when we were in Lawrence. You didn't show. And John admits that he's wrong and does apologize. He's like, but in his John way, where he still gives this. I don't love this new tone you've developed, but
like,
you're right.
You. Dean literally lives the fantasy of telling your dad off and your dad admitting that you were right and apologizing.
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible.
Well, okay, so that happens, and then they get a call, and it is Meg, and they thought she was dead, which is a cool detail to confirm because they don't see her when they're driving away.
They don't.
We do. We know she's still alive, but so we get they get the confirmation she is not dead, and she wants to talk to John, and she has
Time
Caleb.
for the grown-ups to talk now, Sam.
Yeah, and so she has Caleb tied up, and he is like, "Don't give him anything." Blah blah whatever. She kills him, and John is furious
in a pretty, again, violent and nasty
it's another
way.
throat slit.
Slow threat.
Yeah,
that's my metal band.
Yeah, it sure is. Which is very sad. We get that moment, and she wants John to split off and bring her the cult in a town that's like a day's drive away.
And she's like, "Be here tonight
by midnight." Yeah,
and you're like, "You bitch."
And John's friends are dropping like flies. It's really sad.
He has this really beautiful like meltdown here.
He does. Yes.
I wrote it down. I want you to go to school. I want Dean to have a home. I want Mary alive.
Yeah, I want Mary alive broke my heart.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It's depressing. And I think it's really telling that I want you to go back to school. I want Dean to have a home. That's like all he wants is for Dean to have a home base. I'm like,
yeah.
Free my boy.
It's really sad. So the plan is to get a fake cult because he points out, he's like, the only people who have seen this are the vampires.
And Elkins, who's dead.
And us. So they have no way of knowing. So the gambit is that they're going to bring her a fake gun and they're going to stay in this town and kill this demon.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. I really like it.
Good plan.
Well, terrible plan, but it works. I mean,
it works for a while.
And then their farewell is really sad. So they're at this amazing location with this
it's crazy.
This high-rise train tracks or aqueduct or whatever it is. And John and Sam are waiting. Dean pulls up. He's gotten a cult that matches it enough. It doesn't really match, but it's enough. But they have this really wonderful farewell. And John essentially is like, this fight all this time, and I'm not even going to be there.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It's depressing.
So it's up to the Winchester boys to finish this fight.
Yes, and as John drives away, you get to notice he is a crazy truck. The lift on that truck is insane.
Yeah.
And the other note I have here is just that Jeffrey Dean Morgan has insanely beautiful eyelashes. Sometimes he'll cant his eyebrows down. I'm like, oh my God.
John goes on his way. They're parked outside and they're kind of talking, like trying to be like, we could get him out of the house, tell him there's a gas leak. Has that ever worked for us? Where he's like, we could tell him the truth, and they both in unison go, nah. It's so funny.
Nah, don't worry about it.
So they keep waiting. We get John arriving at the location. He's walking through, kind of examining things. He examines a pipe with a valve. So he keeps walking, sees where they're probably going to meet, keeps walking, and he gets up on the roof where there's a water tank. And there's this fucking awesome shot where he's up there, there's smoke all around him, he's backlit, and then Meg walks into a close-up with this like red light on her hair, and she like turns,
cool.
And she looks and moves, and he's gone.
So cool.
He steps back up, he climbs up, opens the vat, drops his cross in,
blesses the water,
and we get this great shot of the cross like sinking through the water.
So cool.
Awesome. We don't know how he's going to use this, but he's going to use it.
It's just cool as shit to turn a whole water tank into holy water.
It is two great shots in a row. It's fantastic.
You gotta hope that maybe one day, and this has never happened and will never happen, but in my dream world, they bless the water that goes into like a fire hydrant and then attach it to like a fire truck and then just fire hose the shit
sick.
out of a demon.
And then we're back with Sam and Dean in the car, and Sam has this really, really good line that after all these years, we're finally here. It doesn't seem real. Mm-hmm. Really good. I really like it. It's very tragic. And then he's like, I never thanked you, Dean. And he gets off this bit of like, oh, for everything, for all this, and Dean gets mad at him. This is, again, it's good writing to have your character react in a way you wouldn't expect them to. Mm-hmm. He gets mad because essentially Sam's like, in case something happens, he's like, no, we're killing this thing. No one's dying tonight or ever again because of this.
It's so like, because I think a thing that we kind of underestimate this season is Sam's kind of like, not suicidal tendencies, but more rather like passively, like, I guess I'll die, whatever.
He doesn't cherish life.
No, he really puts that on display here. And Dean is like, if you even think about dying, I will burn this place to the ground.
Yeah.
And I love Sam's line of, even when I couldn't count on anyone, I could count on you.
Yeah.
Which is, again, just
really great. So we get John starts his meeting. He hands over the Colt and she's like, is this it? And he's whatever. And they bring out a specialist demon that I equate to the specialist they bring in Pawn Stars whenever they need someone to appraise something.
They're like, hey, get a look at this.
She's like, let me call. I know I have a buddy. Sure. He comes out. He looks at it and she's like, what do you think? Is it real? And he just clicks it and shoots Meg in the stomach.
And she's pissed. She's like, what the hell? You just shot me.
If it was the actual cult, she would be dead.
Yeah.
And turns out it's not. And things are not going well.
Not good for Johnny boy.
A chase sequence ensues. John books it. He gets into this like place. He turns on this valve and water starts flooding out. The demons stop. Meg and this other guy stop. And they step onto it. And I love that through their clothes, through like leather boots, he just starts steaming.
It's so cool.
And because the holy water is now pumping out, so he's kind of stalled them. He goes booking it more, gets out, and we get back to Sam and Dean for the sequence where wind starts blowing and they start realizing like it's here.
Mm-hmm.
So they jump out, they run, they break into the house.
I love that this thing is so evil that its mere presence causes this kind of like response.
That the house kind of resembles their house.
Yes.
The reflection of the trees resemble the opening shot a lot. They rush and they break in. The dad tries to stop them. They knock him out.
Or they like toss him aside. They're like, dude,
they knock him out.
They knock him out?
Yeah, they slam against the wall and Dean knocks him out and throws him over his shoulder. Yeah. So then Sam runs upstairs. Sorry, before they knock him out, the dad is like, get to the baby. And he's like, no, don't go in there.
Do not do that.
They knock him out, runs up. She's about to get snatched. Sam bursts in, sees the demon silhouetted over the baby, just like in the beginning, except this time we get the yellow-eyed demon.
His picture's right there.
It's
that
barely
exact
tell,
shot.
but it's the shot in the top corner there, the yellow-eyed demon. We get this great, creepy, like very 70s-esque shot where the light like
100%
hits him like
so
that.
70s.
And
it's like serpentine.
Yeah, he's like these very sickly yellow eyes, which is not normal for a demon. Really good stuff.
And again, distinguishes him as a major player. He's not any old demon.
Yeah. And Sam takes a shot at him with the Colt and misses. He like teleports away, which demons don't do that later, right? They like de-smoke and fly away.
They like might, but I think because this demon is I don't think he's possessing anybody. I think this is just his form because he's so powerful. So I think he probably has a little more.
So that makes perfect sense to me.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works because like Meg, I'm pretty sure is someone possessing who used to be Meg.
Yeah. Well, and Dean for the second time in his life has pulled a baby from a burning crib and run. And the crib like lights on fire as soon as he pulls the baby.
Crazy. You're like,
it's a cool shot. They get outside. The house bursts into flames, like blows up into flames, and they look up, and the demon is standing in the flames,
like staring at them.
Yeah, just like looking out, silhouetted. Creepy. And Sam tries to run in, and this is something I really love: is that Dean chooses family over revenge. Mm-hmm. He essentially the line is like, I hope we never find it if it means you just killing yourself over this. And I think that's really touching and really good.
It's this very beautiful scene of like Dean saving Sam yet again in a much subtler way.
Very literal, I think.
Well, very little, but in the sense of like, with the first time that he, dragged a baby out, it was him literally saving Sam from the on fire house. And this time it's like, you can't go back. And you like, which to me is this beautiful, like, you can't go back in the house and unkill our mom and unkill Jess. And so you think you can do it like this and it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And it cuts to their beautiful argument as well that you're probably about to get into.
Yeah. So we cut to John getting psychically flung against a wall. He's
always
captured. Then we cut to them having an argument, which I'll let you talk about the argument.
I just think the argument's really beautiful because there's so much of it that mirrors Sam and Dean arguing on the bridge in the pilot.
Mm-hmm. The slam against the thing.
The slam against the wall. Don't you say that? Like, which I think is a really great way to like show that how the anger has
kind of
reversed.
Bookend and
yes. And then Dean gets off one of the saddest Dean lines of the whole season so far and of the show so far. Of sometimes I feel like I'm barely holding it together, man.
Yeah, it's
like,
he's finally cracking.
God, he's the sad clown.
Yeah,
he's literally a sad clown. He just has to pretend, and he just wants to like drink and eat and sleep with women and men. Who said that? And just like.
It's tough. It's very sad.
I'm just sad.
They get a call. They think it's John. Meg's on the phone, and she's like, essentially, if you ever want to see your father again, we're gonna have to work something out. And
to be continued.
Episode ends. Our first to be continued, which which is really cool. I like this one. This is a good episode. There's no Sam and Dean kill.
No.
So the system is still 4-11.
Yes.
Sam 4, Dean 11.
We shall see if the finale does anything.
It will not save Sam. Dean's going to win season 1.
Well, yeah.
This is a good one. It is definitely like not my favorite of the season, but it does carry a lot of emotional weight, and it does have good action, good cinematography, lighting up the wazoo.
Oh, yeah.
I like this episode. It's a good penultimate episode to a season.
Yes.
Because it's really setting the stage for what we're about to see, which is the television thing. Which is going to be crazy. Okay, so any other things we need to talk about? Anything we missed? Introduction to our main villain, the yellow-eyed demon.
Yes, we don't know his name yet. I know his name. We know his name. Mm-hmm. But it's really fun to finally get a face to the name. Yeah. Really fun to just kind of find literally.
And it's great. It's not disappointing. There's something very scary and gross about the yellow eyes.
He's kind of just a freak.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to mention is I love that this evolution of Sam's psychic powers causes him physical pain.
Yeah, yeah.
He can't just be like, I had a vision. It's always this head grabbing, headache pulsing. It's one of my favorite minor details.
Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so I guess we'll just jump into our best line of the episode.
Mine is, it's not your problem, it's our problem.
That's great. For me, there's something just really reflective about after all these years, we're finally here. It doesn't seem real. I'm obsessed with revenge stories and revenge movies and stuff.
You do love those.
And the message of all of them is revenge is not what you think it is, right? It's it's surreal and it's not, but it doesn't change it. I like that. So that's a good way for these characters to say this.
Yeah, which is also something that, Luther says in the previous episode, which I wrote it down. It's he specifically says, revenge isn't worth much if you're dead.
Yeah.
Which is something that Sam is going to have to learn here.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Best kill. There's only 2.
I said Pastor Jim.
It's the Pastor Jim one. It's the most violent. It's the grossest. It's a great cold open. The Pastor Jim kill is really good. Meg killing Pastor Jim.
Has a cool setting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is good. We're about to finish the season.
I cannot believe we're already here.
I'm really excited about it.
Wow, we've waited all these years.
Doesn't
seem real.
Doesn't seem real.
We're going to have to say that in the end of season 15.
Very true. Okay, so you have 1 week from today to watch the season finale of Supernatural Season 1. Episode 22, Devil's Trap. I'm very excited about this.
This I do have vivid memories of.
I have some vivid memories, but not completely. I'm really amped about this one. I'm excited. I can't wait. Between now and then, you know what to do. Watch some TV, get your journal, hit the road, but remember, you know what's out there. Be afraid of the dark.